This is what samsara is. This is what the Buddha meant. Samsara is suffering, and that's what we see. And when we don't have those insistent, and we forget that, and we'll go on living our life as usual. We always expect to get up in the morning at the same way as we did yesterday. And we do expect us to go to bed same way as we did last night. But then something happens in between. And that's the suffering in samsara, the first noble truth, what the Buddha had shared with us. That is also definitely with the framework of what Buddha is saying, because that is the basic framework with the impermanent. Impermanent means that if we get up the same way every day, if we go to sleep the same way every day for centuries, or maybe for a millennium, and then there's no impermanent. It's permanent. But that doesn't happen. There's a general disasters like that. The world attentions don't. Everybody is all over the news, everybody talk, everybody think. But then individuals have a lot of consequences and disasters happening in their life every day. Losing your parents, grandparents, or the young ones, loved ones, everything, everybody happening every day. The disasters hitting and losing your home. Maybe not by tsunami, but by the economic consequences. All this happening every day, everywhere, and that's not hit the newspaper. That's not the world attention's not done, but the suffering is been taken by the individual. That is we experience every day. And those who are having their consequences, economic consequences, like losing homes or whatever, and for them, it is a tsunami of its own. For that family, it is a tsunami of its own. It is absolutely not comfortable. It is a disaster. It is all. So that happens. And that's because it is impermanent. That's what it meant. It is impermanent. And then, if you go even little more subtle than that, then we have, there's so many of us have glasses. Here you are. So there's so many of us have glasses. And that is another. And some will have some hearing aids. I don't see anybody anyway. Yeah. Maybe we all have very good hearing ones anyway. So whatever. But all of those. And the salt and pepper. And the becoming more white, more gray, more white. And of course, the bald one. All of those are, really a little more subtle than that of economic turmoil or doesn't hit the newspaper, but it's a little more subtle, but it is impermanent. Even more subtle than that is the changing that's taking place within ourselves, and the sufferings that, if you're talking about sufferings, and they're all interrelated with the impermanent. Basically, when you talk about three, the suffering of the birth, death, and the illness and the aging. So they're all impermanent in nature. We aged because of the time has gone, right? Time is gone. Our physical body, that what we have, there's a manufactural defect. In my case, I was made in 1939, so I can definitely complain to the General Motors. There's definitely a manufactural defect. And these manufactural defects becomes more obvious when the time goes, the more time goes. And one of the signs is, of course, wear glasses and hearing aids and salt and the paper color hair, and then wrinkles. So luckily, in my case, I'm fat. So it all builds up. And if I get a little wrinkle, I'll be happy. But I won't, because you go all the time. So, even if we started looking in our friend, it's more filled up than over here. Yeah. So, but then in normal cases, those wrinkles. And each one of them are no more but message saying that you have that many years. Each wrinkles will tell you. Maybe to some people could be even decades. You have that many decades in this particular body. So that is even more subtle than what we've been seeing and talking about. And then one thing, either it is Buddha or one of the Buddha's disciples saying that this suffering of aging has one good quality, and that is it's coming slowly. I mean, it's really coming very slowly. So we don't notice much. And if it is suddenly coming, how are we going to take it? Can you imagine this youthful, young, beautiful man or woman, whoever may be, and go to sleep tonight, or tomorrow morning with full of wrinkles and white hair, losing tooth, not hearing, not seeing. saying, how can we take it, right? So I think now I remember, this is one of these early Kadamba Lamas. Only Kadamba Lama says, because when it comes slowly, and that is great, and it will come all of a sudden, how we're going to take it. And that's because we become accustomed. We become a little by a little, little by a little, little by a little. So it is okay. We can tolerate and we can somehow manage. But actually, that's what's happening. These are the little subtle, but it is impermanent, in clear sign of impermanent. This is amazing. We don't realize, we do know we have knowledge. You and I, we have a knowledge. We have knowledge, we know it's going to change. We know. We can even talk about it. You say you have to prepare for your old age. And you do all kinds of preparations. And what do? You buy what is it? Disability the insurance. And you buy health insurance, and you buy life insurance even, and all that. And also we talk about this old age pensions, and we talk about it, this savings, and we talk about Social Security, and all of those we do talk about it, and we think about it. But we're not preparing enough. And it's amazing. And they're all there, but it's sort of very casually we'll do. And then the problems comes in, and things are not right. Things are not enough. And also, always we have to worry about it. Our Social Security, whether that's going to be privatized, or is it going to go to the Wall Street and then down the drain, or is it going to be saved there, or whatever, all this, and we do worry about it. However, we don't worry about it, but worry about it much spiritually, what you can do. There is so much lack of spiritual part within the Americans' life. American contemporary life. So much lack of spiritual part. I spent 3 decades of my life traveling everywhere, almost everywhere. And I do see a tremendous hunger for a real, authentic, and a pure spiritual part. That's a tremendous hunger on that. Even in our Cleveland itself, or maybe you go somewhere else, Dayton, Ohio, or somewhere where this very conservative area, if you go. Even then, all these areas you find a tremendous spiritual hunger there. But somehow, that's never filled, and won't fill, because we become, we have the traditional church, and we become very skeptical of church, and and the church itself becomes some kind of Sunday social event. And even today, the church is everywhere, and church doesn't survive unless there's a rock and roll. So that is really funny, but churches do that. They have to do that just to survive. And and on the other hand, there's a tremendous hunger. And this hunger is not really filled by the spiritual parts that are valuable here. My guess is, the people's understanding and capacity had become much more than simply when we have during our grandmother's period. It's become much more. In that period, it's okay if you just pray and worship one day, and that's about it. And now, the people's knowledge just somehow becomes much more, and they just don't want to say it works, and tell me how it works, who got it, and what did they do, and what they get it, and they really wanted to know, and that's why, unless it's really become something wonderful, and as it becomes difficult to manage. And I don't mean difficult to survive, but it becomes difficult. But in the case of Tibetan Buddhism, it is Buddhism. And it is somehow proven to be authentic for over 1 million years. Honestly, over 1 million years. And no one questions today, with all curiosity, and everybody do not really question its authenticity.